What's up, guys? Kevin here to bring you a brand new video. Where today we're going to be doing day 15 of Horror October. This video is coming super late, so I apologize. I gotta work on fixing my schedule for watching movies. I was super close to not being able to even come out with a video today, but I said I cannot lose this challenge of watching a movie every day. So like I have to still do this, and I did. But man, this is rough lately, I gotta say. So I just gotta like get on a better schedule of watching movies. Yeah. Today's movie that we watched is The Changeling. I'm not gonna make this video super long because I'm really, really tired, and this is probably gonna be uncut too. So, hopefully you guys don't mind if a few like pauses or your talking errors or whatnot. But yeah, I watched The Changeling, which is pretty good. Pretty good movie overall, I'd say. I mean, it's a little bit like dull in a lot of moments, I would say. I mean, I had mentioned in a previous video about how like movies about ghosts can be rather like boring. And this movie is kind of like about ghosts. So, I mean, as you might expect, some of it is a little boring because, like, for a lot of the movie, it's just like glass breaking, a piano doing the keys, a door opening, like, just like random things like that wouldn't be that scary at all. Um, but eventually, there does come to be like more lore behind this house that this guy decides to move to. And the movie gets more interesting. So this guy, played by George C. Scott, his daughter and wife were both killed. Even though it didn't look like they got killed. Like a like a truck crashed into the car, but the the wife and the daughter were out of the car, so I don't really get how they got killed. But anyways, the guy then decides to move to this house where he finds this mysterious room that's holding this like I guess like spirit of a person, and weird things start to happen to him, and almost for a while it's pretty lame, I gotta say. I mean, the movie is overall pretty good, but for a while, like, it did feel pretty lame just because it just felt like an ordinary, like, ghost story about, like, a haunted house. And I just feel like, I just feel like, the cliche of that's come to be today of just, like, haunted houses, kind of hurts this movie a lot. So I gotta, I gotta make note of it there for that. But yeah, after a while, he finally finds this room that's like, has like a lock on it, and he like goes up in it, and he finds like this wheelchair in this room, and a bunch of stuff, old stuff, and he starts like investigating. And this is where the movie gets a lot more interesting. Like, he finds like this like journal from like 1909 or 1908. It was either '08 or '09, but it was from like a long time ago. And he then goes on to like try to like look into like what had happened, and he ends up finding out that someone had died there, and someone had actually drowned been drowned by his own father there, and his spirit was like inhabiting that place. He ends up like getting like a medium to like come to the place and like talk to them. The medium like talking was like a little repetitive. She literally just kept like asking the same questions over and over again. Um, it got kind of boring. pretty quickly. And along with that, there are like some other elements that are definitely like somewhat like repetitive, I guess. But yeah, he eventually like finds out that the boy there had been like abused by his father and drowned to death. Um, and that's why the spirit wasn't like at rest. Um, and then he eventually like um, forgive me if I like don't have the exact like plot details on this because I was really tired watching this, but like his one of his relatives, it was this guy's son, the son of the father who drowned the boy. Um, he George C. Scott finds this necklace thing that looked to be his. So he goes to him to try to like give it to him, and this guy is like a prestigious like senator, I guess, or something like that. Like he's kind of like a high up dude, so you know he's like all like standoffish and shit, and he's like get away from me with this nonsense or you know that kind of thing. But eventually, you know, he realizes that maybe this does have some connection, and he realizes that this was his dad that did this, and he goes to the house and confronts it, and for some reason, the house decides to burn down. It just catches on fire. Um, but yeah, and then like he goes up to the room to try to like, I guess like make peace with whatever was there. Um, I don't I don't know if he really did make peace with, you know, Joseph. The the boy's name who had drowned was Joseph. Joseph. So yeah, but but yeah, and the house ends up burning down. Um, but but the spirit was like still present because at the end they like play like a locket thing. Um, there's like this thing that opens up and plays. But yeah, this movie is interesting. It's not exactly like wow, this is like really cool, but like it's a good movie overall that you know seemed a little like boring at first until you know this whole lore came through about this like boy, and then we learned that it's not just like an ordinary ghost story. Um, and you know, I just wanted to see this film because it's called The Changeling. That just sounds really obscure and, you know, out of the ordinary. And I had literally no idea what it was about. I didn't know it would be a ghost movie. If I did, I don't know if I'd see it just because I think ghost movies do tend to be boring, which this one was a little bit, but it was still good. And I am kind of glad I saw it. And George C. Scott was pretty good, actually. I actually knew him from A Christmas Carol. It was like a 1980s version of The Christmas Carol. And this kind of fit well for him as far as the role he played because he was like alone a lot, like being like tormented by you know things in this house. So like he gave like a good like acting performance in that regard because like with the Christmas Carol like it was a very like similar type of thing where like he was alone and like shit was going on, obviously not like to the extent of like horror, but same kind of like thing where he's like alone and stuff. And I think he just like played the role really well and like when he was like scared of getting like terrified of what was going on. I think he just did that pretty well overall. Um, but yeah, overall I'd say this movie's pretty good. I mean, I wish I was more awake to watch it because I feel like there's probably some like details about the movie that I missed, and it's also just like one of those movies that you have to like really like take in to like appreciate fully. I feel like probably I'm probably right about that. I feel like, but it is what it is. We still saw the movie, um, a good amount, or for the most part, we saw the movie. But yeah, as of now, I'm gonna rate the movie a 7.2 out of 10. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe to see more content, and be sure to stay tuned in for more Horror Octobers for the rest of October. I'll see you guys in the next one.